For many of us, when we envision our future, we hope for success and the ability to live a comfortable life. We may see ourselves getting an education, buying a house, apartment, or car, maybe even starting a business, getting married, and having children. There are many things that contribute to being able to accomplish these goals. But one of the most important is being able to manage your finances, and you cannot do that successfully without a plan. Welcome to Fundamentals of Personal Money Management. This lesson is budgeting for your future. My name is Juliana Charris. For several years, I have been a financial student ambassador for the Society for Financial Education and Professional Development. In this capacity, I work with college students on building their financial literacy skills to help them make sound financial decisions. The Society provides peer-to-peer training on budgeting, credit management, and investment to students across the United States. This course will take a look at the basics of personal money management. It will provide information and recommendations on developing skills to achieve your financial goals. And it will help you to identify and avoid behavior that adversely affects your financial well-being, with the aim of developing economic prosperity for individuals and communities. It is important to understand that every situation is unique. The decisions you make to improve your financial health are extremely personal and tied to your direct circumstances, especially when it comes to whether or not to work with a financial advisor and who you might choose in this capacity. The path you choose to improve your money management is up to you. I will be sharing these concepts with you in general terms. For information on your specific personal money management, you should consult a qualified financial professional. In this lesson, we will examine the 6 key money management concepts. They are budgeting, establishing financial goals, credit and debt management, saving, investing, and risk management or insurance. We will look at the steps to create an effective budget, understand different types of expenses, and how insurance is a tool to protect your finances and managing risk. I have learned that managing my finances and having a budget is an essential element of financial success. What comes to mind when you think about budgeting? Budgeting is sometimes seen as an activity that relates only to money. In reality, creating a budget is just one of the many pieces involving much broader aspects of your life, including how to plan the use of your financial resources. Budgeting is a planning process for how to best use your money to ensure you have the financial resources for the things you need and that are important to you. Financial resources are a critical part of your financial well-being. There is nothing worse than the stress of worrying about where the money will come from to cover an expense. Budgeting requires identifying income sources to determine how you will use your money toward your expenses and personal goals. How can you set up a budget and make sure it is effective? Here are the primary steps to take. First, evaluate your personal values. How do you live? How do you want to live? What are your life goals? What are your financial goals? What is your relationship with money, debt, saving, and spending? Next, prioritize those values. Rank them in importance. Do you simply want to be debt-free, or would you like savings in case of a need or an emergency? Then, establish goals. What do you realistically want to achieve? And finally, distinguish between needs versus wants. What do you need to live and accomplish your goals compared to what are nice to have but not necessary to achieve your goals? Effective budgeting should focus on what's most important to you so that you can put a plan into effect that works at the different stages of your life. Planning for savings and spending must focus on the evaluation of your values, priorities, and goals. Budget planning also involves an accurate understanding of your income resources. When evaluating your income, consider all resources, including income from your job, self-employment, financial support from parents, alimony and child support, gifts, tax refunds, or investments. In addition, you should check your country's taxation laws and regulations, as these can differ from country to country. Now, let's break down a monthly budget. The best way to do this starts with creating a spreadsheet. First, identify your financial resources. Start by calculating your monthly income. Income is money that an individual or business receives in exchange for providing labor, producing a good or service, or investing money. Individuals most often earn income through wages or salary. Businesses earn income from selling goods or services above their cost of production. Whether your income fluctuates, is steady, or a combination of both, you should be able to calculate a monthly average based on your past earnings. Then list any investment income, alimony, child support, gifts, or other income you have. Next, consider what's important to you and prioritize expenses. When listing your expenses, divide them into 3 categories: fixed expenses, variable expenses, and discretionary expenses. Fixed expenses are those necessary and unavoidable expenses in which the amount you pay monthly does not vary. These include your mortgage payment or rent, property taxes, alimony and child support, and a car payment. Include any other fixed expense like insurance premiums or other loans or debt payments. Remember, these are the expenses for which you pay the same amount every month. Variable expenses are also necessary and unavoidable expenses, but the amount you have to pay can vary from month to month. These are a bit trickier than fixed expenses to budget for because the amounts change. Examples of variable expenses include utilities, groceries, public transportation, medicine, credit card payments, gasoline, clothing, and your cell phone bill, depending on your usage. In these cases, develop a best estimate for your budget, looking at what you've normally spent in the past. Finally, add your discretionary expenses. These are the avoidable expenses, the luxuries or nice-to-haves. They might include items such as entertainment like movies or concerts, eating out, games and recreation, gifts, and vacations. These are expenses that are not necessary for you to achieve your financial goals. Depending on those goals, you'll want to keep your discretionary expenses as low as possible on a monthly basis. Use them more as rewards for hitting some of your financial goals. Now, use your budget to compare income versus expenses to see whether your monthly income covered your monthly expenses. It's time to do the math. If your income exceeds your expenses, you have a budget surplus. This is good. That means you have discretionary income or surplus income. If you have a surplus, it can be used to increase your savings and investments. If your expenses exceed your income, then you have a budget deficit. This means that you don't have enough income or resources to cover your planned expenses. The first place to look to address this deficit is in the discretionary spending section of your budget. These are expenses that you can adjust so that your spending decisions becomes aligned with your available resources. Determine which discretionary expenses to decrease or eliminate. Remember, be realistic about what you are willing to give up. If something is eliminated from your budget, this will require modifying your decisions, activities, and behaviors to correspond with that spending adjustment. For example, it is hard to save money in your food budget if you don't change your habit of regularly eating out or ordering takeout. Keep in mind that your budget is a way to plan your spending and to help you use your money wisely toward what's most important and essential to you. Your plan for your money is intended to help you remain accountable for what you truly want and remain aligned with your goals and priorities. Monitor your budget regularly to see how well you're doing in sticking to your plans. Compare your actual income and spending each month with the budgeted amounts to identify the challenges in balancing your budget. Goals and priorities may need to be regularly reevaluated to see if a spending readjustment in certain categories is necessary. You should also keep in mind ways to optimize your income over time. Have a deficit spending problem? That's okay. Your budget can still be useful in helping you plan how to realign and prioritize available resources to keep you on your best financial footing. Surplus or deficit, your budget planning and planned budget can help highlight and guide what decisions and actions to focus on to improve your circumstances. By taking a thoughtful approach toward a plan to live within your financial means, your spending and saving decisions remain in line with your resources. Think of a budget as a tool for empowerment that keeps your focus on financial choices that support your goals. Insurance is another essential expense that should take priority over variable categories of spending. Insurance is an arrangement by which a company or government agency provides a guarantee of compensation for a specified loss, damage, illness, or death in return for a payment of a premium. Insurance is like an emergency fund. It protects your financial resources. It provides financial resources in the event of an unplanned incident like a natural disaster or accident. Examples of the type of insurance most individuals would carry include automobile insurance that will replace or repair your car in the event it is damaged, health insurance to cover medical expenses and hospitalization, business insurance to cover downturns in sales or productivity, and life insurance to cover funeral expenses and provide for your family. This type of insurances typically involve paying a relatively small premium that protects you financially from greater risk or loss. Insurance helps to insulate you from the financial impact of life events that can cause dire economic consequences. Paying for the appropriate insurance for your specific circumstances is a small price to pay for protection against a catastrophic loss from which it might be difficult or impossible to recover. Again, seek competent professional advice from a trusted source for more information on insurance in your community. Ultimately, budgets are flexible documents to use as a guide to successfully manage your money and resources. Remember, a budget will only work if you make a commitment to stick to it. By doing so, this will allow you to manage your money wisely and invest in your future. For more on this course and to access related resources, visit our website.